Hi team, how are you doing? Kim Constable here. For those of you who don't know me, I am the founder of The Sculpted Vegan, and I am so excited to have you here for ButtCamp 3.0. Now, I know that many of you will have purchased ButtCamp in the past. We have had ButtCamp version 1, ButtCamp version 2, and now we are on ButtCamp version 3, which is completely different to anything you have ever done before. ButtCamp is actually our most successful program to date. We have sold probably in the region of 12,000 copies of ButtCamp in the past. And the reason why it is our most successful program to date is because it gets the best results. In fact, all of my programs get incredible results, but the results that we get from ButtCamp are literally unparalleled actually. So today I wanted to make this welcome video. It's the first time I've ever done a welcome video like this for a program. Normally we would have a very long PDF, which we would advise you to read 3 times, which we need to have multiple revisions of. But this time, rather than have a very long and arduous PDF that takes a long time to read, I thought instead I would come and record a video for you with all of the information that you are going to need. So this video is going to be reasonably long. So if you don't have time to watch it all now, I would advise that you turn it off and you come back to it at a time when you do have time to watch the entire thing. I would also recommend that you have a notepad and possibly a pen as well. Well, if you have a notepad, you're going to need a pen. But if you have a notepad and pen, I would advise that you take down some notes as well. Now, remember, you can come back to this video at any time you want to refresh yourself with the information. But definitely, please do listen to this video the whole way through, possibly a couple of times, especially if you are in this competition to win it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to break down the customer hub for you. I'm going to tell you where everything is. I'm going to break down the training we're going to be doing, the nutrition. I'm going to break down the supplements. I'm going to tell you absolutely everything that you need, as well as very valuable information for joining the competition. So I have my phone here with the customer hub open. Now, the very first thing I want to tell you is that most of you will be accessing your customer hub from your phone. Now, some of you will be on your laptop or on your iPad. I totally understand. But if you are on your phone, there's actually a very simple way that you can save the customer hub to your phone, which means that you can save it as an app to your phone, and you can go and access the information anytime you need to. In the past, whenever we launched programs, we used to have a PDF download. And the PDF downloads were, easy. You could have saved them to your phone, but it quite often meant that people couldn't find them in their phone. They were saved in files. They had to go in, they had to re-access, and it just made the whole thing difficult. So what we did was we started creating these customer hubs with an easy save to your phone so that you can literally go and access it like an app anytime. So what I want you to do is I want you to look above this welcome video if you're watching it inside the customer hub. Now, I have an iPhone, and I have to be honest, I'm really not sure how it works on an Android, but if you have an Android, then a quick Google search will tell you how to do this if it is any different. But on my iPhone, up in the top right-hand corner, where the address bar is, you will see written thesculptedvegan.com, and then beside that, there should be a little icon, which is a box with an arrow pointing up. If you click that icon, you will be given this screen, which you guys can't see here because it's on the computer, but you'll be given a different screen. And if you scroll down in that screen, you will see a button which says Add to Home Screen. If you press that button and then give the app a name, something like I've called mine BC3, then it will appear on your screen like an app. So mine now says TSV, and then underneath it, it says BC3. And it means that every time you click this icon, it will simply open, and I wish you could see that, you can now, it will simply open your customer hub, which makes it super easy to access the information. So I recommend that everybody does that so you have the information saved on your phone and it's easy to get to. So let's work our way through the customer hub. So the first thing that you will see at the very top of the hub is the equipment checklist. What I would recommend that you do is save that to your phone. You want to save it to your files so that you have it for the future. When you go into the equipment checklist, you will find equipment checklists for all of the equipment that we reckon that you're going to need. And we have even given you Amazon links in the main countries that we serve, which is the UK and Europe. the United States of America, the USA, and also in Australia. If you click those links, that will take you directly to the product that we recommend, and you can simply purchase it on Amazon. Now, we will earn a small commission if you use our affiliate link, but if you choose not to use the link, that's totally fine. We don't mind. We just think that we should earn some money if we're going to recommend something to people. So you don't need to buy all the equipment on this list. You may already have some of this equipment if you are training from home or if you're used to training from home. If you don't have any of the equipment and you're not used to training from home, then I would recommend that you get the booty bands, a couple of dumbbells, definitely the heel wedges, and everything else is optional. I've just put my favorite things on here that I use to sculpt and build my body from home. And many of you will know that I trained in the gym for the first 10 years of my lifting career, and I only started training from home with dumbbells in March of 2025. So it hasn't been that long since I've been training at home with dumbbells, but my body shape has changed dramatically. I have dropped a huge amount of body fat. I am leaner. I am more toned. I have great abs. It has completely transformed my body from a chunky bodybuilder shape into this lovely, lean, long, feminine physique that I think many women do aspire to. And I know this because they tell me every single day that this is what women want. And after I started training at home with dumbbells, I was genuinely able to completely shape my body the way I wanted to shape it. So if you go into the equipment checklist, you will be able to see all of the things that we recommend. You can get any of it, you can get none of it. I do recommend that you have at least a booty band and a couple of dumbbells for doing the training from home, because you are going to need to lift some weight to train your upper body. It is going to be handy to have some weight for your lower body, but a lot of the stuff that we recommend, a lot of the exercises that we do can be done with just a booty band. You will get incredible results because of the amount of volume we're going to be doing on the glutes if you only have a booty band. But I would recommend a couple of dumbbells too. Now, if you are super new to training, then you really don't need heavy dumbbells. You would need a light set of dumbbells, maybe 5-pound dumbbells or 2.5 kilos in the UK. If you can get 3 sets, that would be better. So you want to get like one very light set if you're new to training, such as 5 pounds. Then maybe a set of 10-pound dumbbells would also be helpful. And then one slightly heavier set so that you can do pulling work for your back. So I would recommend maybe 10 or 22 pounds would probably be all you need. Now, if you wanted to stick your overachiever hat on and really go the full hog, one heavy dumbbell, such as 30 kilos or 66 pounds, would actually be very helpful for placing on your lap for doing glute bridges. You're going to get a better burn if you're using a dumbbell on your lap for hip thrusts or glute bridges, especially if you pair it with a booty band. But again, not necessary. You are going to get a real burn with the booty band anyway, so it will totally be fine. If you are a more advanced trainer, maybe you've been training in the gym for a while, maybe you are part of our Sculpted Menopause app and you've been training doing the challenges at home with me, then you are going to be more seasoned and you're going to know what you're going to need. The workouts are going to be very similar to the ones that I have been recording and putting into the Sculpted Menopause app, and then I've been putting up free on YouTube. So I use the weights that I use. I have a good range, but the ones that I use would be probably 5 kilos for a lot of the lateral work. So that's 12 pounds for a lot of the lateral work, a lot of the arm work. I would use 22 pounds for my overhead pressing or my chest pressing. I would use 115 kilo, which is about 35 pounds or 37.5 pounds, I think it is, for some of the leg work, some of the lunge work, or maybe 2 of those for the lunge work. And then I do have some heavier ones that I use for Romanian deadlifts. So I would use about 44 pounds in each hand for a Romanian deadlift, and also for my pulling work because I have a very strong back. So I have about 4 sets of main dumbbells that I use, which are, let me run through them again, 12 pounds, 22 pounds, 37.5 pounds and 44 pounds would be the main sets of dumbbells that I would use. But honestly, you can make your muscles burn even if you have lighter dumbbells. Your other option is that you can actually go to a gym and do the follow along workouts. So you can just take your phone into a gym, you can stick on the video on YouTube, and you can watch the video and use the equipment at the gym if you prefer. So that is an option that's open to you as well. Some other of my favorite things here on the list are heel wedges, very important. I have a set of heel wedges which go together to make one solid wedge. We're going to be doing a lot of foot elevated stuff. I definitely would recommend you get the heel wedges. If you don't want to purchase them, you could use 2 weight plates instead if you have those. or you could use something else which you can prop your heels up on. I just find the heel wedges super comfortable because they put your foot in exactly the right position for whenever you are doing the wedge work. And also you can raise your toes or you can raise your heels. Very, very handy. A yoga mat, handy if you're going to be lying on the floor, not necessary if you have carpet at home. I don't always use a yoga mat because I'm training here in my studio and I have carpet, but it is handy, especially if you have hard floors. Cobra grips are something which I do recommend. They are grips that go around your wrist and then they have flaps on the hand. And it means if you're doing any pulling work, especially if you're using heavy dumbbells, you can wrap on your Cobra grips and it means that your grip strength won't give out before your arm strength does. So a lot of time what happens whenever we are using, doing pulling work, for example, our grip strength will go before our back strength goes. And so we feel like, we need to set the dumbbell down because we can't grip it anymore. The Cobra grips or the lifting straps just take all of that out of the equation. Now, Cobra grips can be quite pricey, so if you wanted to just get ordinary lifting straps, that would be totally fine. They are a little more pernickety to use. I love the Cobra grips, but it's up to you, whatever you want to purchase, or nothing at all. If you're not lifting heavy weights, if you're not pulling heavy weights or doing heavy weights with your Romanian deadlifts and your dumbbell deadlifts, if you don't know what that means, don't worry, it's all going to be revealed, then you probably won't need them at all. It is just something that is good to have in your lifting arsenal, especially if you are making this the first day of the rest of your journey. If you're committed that this is what you are going to do. This is you changing your body, changing your life, showing up for yourself and getting into a fitness program, then investing in this equipment is a good idea because a pair of good Cobra grips will last you years. I think I've had mine maybe 5 years and they're still going strong, no issues whatsoever. Lifting gloves are something else that I use a lot. I just have plain canvas lifting gloves. Why? Because I just find that it makes the dumbbell more comfortable to hold. I do get calluses quite a lot from lifting, so I like to have a good pair of lifting gloves. Any lifting gloves are fine. You just want to make sure that they're super comfortable to wear. And then also I put my favorite water bottles on here too, because I am a big water drinker, but what I have found is ever since I started carrying around a gallon of water every day, which has marks on it, it makes me, those marks on the side of the bottle, like 8 a.m., you're doing great. 10 a.m., keep drinking, 1 p.m., you're halfway there, that kind of stuff. They have these marks on the bottles. I have just found that it's made drinking my water so much more measurable. So I do find that I drink a lot more water, or I'm consistently wanting to finish my bottle of water by the end of the day, and I don't forget. If I don't carry a bottle of water around with me every single day, I forget to drink. So it's super important that you keep very well hydrated during this program. So make sure you get yourself a good sturdy water bottle. You're definitely going to need it because you are going to be thirsty during the training. So before I go any further into the training programs, which are the next thing that you're going to be able to access here in your customer hub, I want to tell you a little story about why I decided to run a ButtCamp 3 program. So years ago, whenever I first developed ButtCamp, it was in response to the market. So I run the world's largest online vegan bodybuilding company, which is The Sculpted Vegan. And I've always listened to my members and created programs that they want me to create. So what happened was they started saying that they wanted to build their glutes, and they kept asking me to create some kind of glute building challenge. So I went deep into the research into glutes. I interviewed Brett Contreras, who's now a good friend of mine, the glute guy. I created a couple of different programs. I got him to approve them and advise me on them. And I created this real kick-ass ButtCamp program, which first of all was all done at home. So it was individual exercises done at home. It was during COVID that we developed ButtCamp, so no gyms were open anyway. Everyone was training from home. But I didn't actually do the ButtCamp program myself because I was a professional bodybuilder who competed on stage, and I was always into training split body parts. So what I would have done is I would have done chest and triceps on a Monday, legs, quad focused on a Tuesday, back on a Wednesday, shoulders and biceps on a Thursday, and then glutes and hamstrings on a Friday. So I really only had one solid glute day a week. Even though I did work glutes as well on a Monday, I had a solid glute day on a Friday. I always had good glutes. Like, you would not look at my butt. I'm a 46-year-old menopausal woman, and you wouldn't look at my butt and say, oh my God, she has the most horrendous butt. But you also wouldn't look at it and say, wow, her butt is massive, okay? So I just wasn't ready to give up on my focused glute workouts. Or sorry, not my focused glute workouts. I wasn't ready to give up on my bodybuilder style training. So my split body parts was always how I trained. I always trained in the gym. I wasn't prepared to train from home, but I created a real kick-ass program that worked. The members were getting incredible results using it. Like I said, it had the Brett Contreras stamp of approval, and the program was phenomenal. So we created ButtCamp 2 because the members kept asking for another ButtCamp program. They wanted one where we could train in the gym. So again, I adapted a whole new butt training program for the gym, which had very glute-focused exercises as well as training upper body, and we released ButtCamp 2. It did phenomenally well. Everybody loved it, and it got even better results than ButtCamp number 1. But again, it wasn't a program that I personally followed because I had all of my split body part training, organized, sorted every day, 5 days a week. I just wasn't prepared to give up on my split body part training. But here's what happened. So this year, once I started training from home, I lost an enormous amount of body fat. So the program that you're going to be doing in ButtCamp is actually my personal program that I have followed to drop an extraordinary amount of body fat. I don't even know how much. I think whenever I started training this way, I was about, I want to say about 22% body fat maybe. And I am currently sitting, I think probably at about 14% body fat. So I've lost about 8% body fat, which is actually very hard to do whenever you're super lean. But I haven't lost any muscle. My body shape has just completely changed. But what I realized was I always thought I had good glutes, right? Good full glutes. But whenever I shredded all the body fat off this year, I realized that what I had thought were good glutes was actually just a layer of body fat. Yes, I had put muscle on my glutes from the gym training that I was doing, but I had also put on a layer of body fat, which was making my glutes look much bigger. But I had thought it was all muscle pushing it out, and it really wasn't. It was some muscle, but there was a lot of fat there as well. So once I shredded off all the body fat, my glutes went with it. And I realized that at 46 years of age, with the skin getting softer and softer, more and more saggy every year, I was going to have to do something drastic if I wanted to build my glutes, because now I have this super lean physique. I have great shaped arms, as you can see. I have, really lovely sculpted back. I have great quads, really well-defined legs, but my butt doesn't match my physique. I want to have one of those bubble butts, right? I want to have this really tiny waist and a really big bubble butt. Are you with me? Like, do you like that kind of look? You know, that lovely sculpted, slim waist with six-pack abs, and you want to have, but then you have this lovely, these lovely wide shoulders, and then you have like this lovely shape of glutes. That's what I want. So I looked at my glutes this year and I was like, oh, I know that I can develop a training program for myself that will literally change the shape of my butt. So I decided that I was going to embark on a glute training program for myself. And then when I was chatting to my team, they all said, why don't we create this into a program for others and they can do it along with you? So that is how ButtCamp 3.0 came about. I want you to know the training you're going to be doing in this program is the exact training protocol that I have created for myself. This wasn't the case in ButtCamp 1 or ButtCamp 2. In ButtCamp 1 and 2, I actually created the training program for the members, but it wasn't something I ever did myself. Whereas this training program, I am doing every single day right along with you. So I have created the most robust glute training program that you could ever embark on because I want the results for me. I want the results for you, but I want the results for me. So you can guarantee that the program I have created gets results. And we are going to be doing it together all the way along. We're going to be measuring our results, taking photographs, and really seeing what we can achieve together. And that's the thing that really excites me about this program. So that brings us into the training programs, which is the next thing I want to talk about. So before now, I have never done a sculpted vegan program with follow-along workouts with me. This is the first sculpted vegan program that we have ever released where you literally train alongside me. I have had my head trainer, Laura Hutchinson. I have had other instructors come in and do follow-along workouts, which the members have loved. But I have never before done a follow-along workout that is led by me. And that is simply because I was training in the gym every day. And the training I was doing in the gym every day did not leave enough energy for me to do a robust training workout or strength workout at home with dumbbells. And so now that I'm training at home, I have to make these workouts count. So this is the first time I've ever taught a training program. And the training programs that we have available for you in this program are, you have two different options. You either can train in the gym doing the follow along workout, or you can train at home with me. And for the first time ever, I am recommending that you will get the best results if you do the training with me. I actually answered this in a Q&A a few weeks ago. One of the members had asked me, they said, Kim, if I'm going to train some days in the gym and some days at home, which days would you recommend that I train in the gym? And I said to her, I recommend that you do the upper body days in the gym and you do the lower body days with me. And she was stunned. She said, I thought you were going to say the opposite. Because you've always said the opposite. You've always said if you can train at home, or if you can, you're going to do some training at home, do the upper body at home and go to the gym and do the lower body workouts at the gym with heavy weights. She said, I'm stunned that you have changed what you're saying. I said, well, because in ButtCamp, the way we're training glutes is far superior to anything that you're going to be able to do in the gym, simply because of the volume. So let me break down how this training is put together. With me, we're going to be training, or you training with me, if you choose to do it at home, you're going to be training glutes 6 days a week. 6 days a week, okay? Every day is glute day. We're going to have 4 to 6, usually about 4, but sometimes 5, sometimes 6, sometimes 3 actually on one of the days, glute focused exercises per day. And then you're going to have 2 to 3 upper body exercises at the end of the glute training. So we are going to focus really hard on glutes for the next 8 weeks, but you're not going to compromise your upper body. The upper body training that we're going to do at the end of each workout focuses on big compound movements. What's a compound movement? A compound movement is a multi-joint exercise which works many muscle groups all at the same time. So there's very little isolation work in this training. So that means very little bicep curls, very little tricep kickbacks. It's all, chest presses this way. It's all compound presses. There's a lot of back work in it. It's big compound movements that work all of the upper body, strengthening and toning it at the same time, because we want to make sure that your glutes get the maximum work. Why is it important to train this way? Well, your glutes are a huge muscle group. You have the glute maximus, the glute medius, and the glute minimus. It is very difficult to fatigue the glutes. It's very difficult to isolate them and completely fatigue them. The most superior exercise that you can do to fatigue the glutes and really isolate and work the glutes is the hip thrust. So it was developed by Brett Contreras, and it's a highly effective exercise. And we are going to be doing hip thrusts every single day. Every single day, first exercise, hip thrusts. We are going to be thrusting our way to a bootylicious ass, like we really are. So every day is hip thrust day. Then we're going to be focusing on different exercises that work all different sides of the glutes, because in order to train the glutes, you have to train them on the vertical plane, the horizontal plane, and the diagonal plane. So you have to train all sides of the glutes from all angles. And like I said earlier, it's very hard to exhaust the glutes, which is why we're going to train them every single day. The glutes can take an enormous amount of volume. Your glutes are supposed to be the powerhouse of your body, or in Belfast we say the powerhouse, the powerhouse of your body, right? They are supposed to pick up the slack when you bend down, whenever you squat, whenever you bend, whenever you do all kinds of exercises like that human beings are supposed to do. We're supposed to knit baskets or weave baskets and tend to fires and squat and stand up, right? Our glutes are supposed to be active and working all the time. But they're not, because we're sitting in chairs most of our lives. So our glutes are completely switched off. And most of us don't even have an ass. Like their butt is, if you look at some women from the side, they are literally straight up and straight down. Unless you were blessed genetically with a beautiful butt, your glutes get switched off. And so in order to train the glutes, you have to train them hard. You have to train them from all sides from all angles. Your glutes were supposed to be switched on every single day from bending and squatting, but we don't bend and squat anymore. And that is what makes us old. So in order to activate them and turn them on, we have to work them with a huge amount of volume. Volume is what causes glutes to grow. And initially, whenever I was developing this program, I thought that I would train glutes in the program 3 times a week and have 2 upper body days. But then as I got further into the research, I thought, you know what? The best way for us to really get the biggest results that we can in 8 weeks is to focus on the glutes every single day. So that is what I've decided to do, because I want you to think about it this way. If you squat, your glutes do get worked in a squat, yes, but your quads and your hamstrings and your calf muscles also get worked in a squat. So whenever you squat and you squat all the way down below parallel, your glutes do get fired up, okay? But your quads fatigue before your glutes do. So your quads will fail before your glutes in a squat. So whenever you reach the end of your, squatting capacity and you think, oh my goodness, I've only 1 or 2 more reps, it's because your quads have failed, not your glutes. So in a squat, yes, the glutes get worked, but they don't get worked to failure. In a Romanian deadlift or a dumbbell deadlift, the glutes get worked, but your hamstrings will fail before your glutes do. So if you're doing a dumbbell deadlift, your back will get tired and your hamstrings will fail and your glutes will get worked, but they won't get worked to failure because they won't fail before the hamstrings do. So the glutes do get a lot of work with the exercises that we do in the gym, but the hip thrust is really the only exercise where the glutes fail first. And so whenever we're working in this program, we are going to be working the glutes to failure at all angles, really isolating the glutes and making them work super, super hard. So that is how the training is going to be done. Most sessions are going to be around 40 minutes. I try to keep them to 30 minutes, and sometimes I do keep them to 30 minutes, but honestly, working the glutes effectively is more important to me than keeping to the 30 minutes. So sometimes whenever I'm planning a workout and I'm recording one, I get to the end of a session, or I get to the end of a set of exercises, and I realize my glutes just aren't fatigued enough. And so I'll add in some extra sets, I'll throw in a couple of extra exercises. I'll always work in the moment with what needs done. And that's why you're going to get an incredible benefit from working this program, because you're doing it alongside with me. I'm literally feeling what you are feeling. I'm describing what you are feeling while you're doing it with me. And that's why the members who've been doing the workouts with me in the Sculpted Menopause app have been getting such incredible results, because I've been pushing them beyond what they were currently doing or what they were doing before. And so they're finally going to failure and beyond failure and getting results that they have never got before. So the workouts are going to be, probably most of them, around 40 minutes from start to finish, with probably, a couple of minutes at the start and a couple of minutes at the end. So I would allow 45 minutes for your strength training workout. The cardio workouts are going to be 30 minutes long exactly. So 30 minutes timed from start to finish. I mean, it'll maybe be like me saying hello in the beginning. There'll be like 2 minutes of maybe me saying hello, describing what we're going to do, and then boom, we get straight into it. 30 minutes start to finish. The cardio workouts consist of a 5-minute warm-up, 20 minutes of work, and then a 5-minute cool down, which makes up the 30 minutes. In the cardio workouts, even though we are doing some strength exercises sometimes, like maybe there's some push-ups or some burpees, different things like that, they're not for building muscle. They are to push your heart rate up into the fat burning zone and burn fat. So it doesn't matter really if your form is a little sloppy. It doesn't matter if you're doing your press ups on your knees or in a box position. It's not important that you do the full exercise every single time. What's important is that you have a sweat on, that your heart rate is in the fat burning zone, and that you really feel like you are taxed and a little bit sweaty and out of breath. That's how you know they're effective. If you're not sweaty and out of breath and feeling the effects of working through the cardio, you need to increase the intensity. So I give options for all levels. You don't have to squat, you don't have to lunge, you don't have to jump if you don't want to, but I do give options for here's first level, here's second level, here's third level. So if you are able to take it up a notch and jump and maybe do some jumping jacks rather than stepping jacks, you absolutely should. Always work to the maximum capacity that you can. Because if you're like 30 seconds in jumping jacks and you realize you made a big mistake and like your heart is pumping and your face is like a beetroot and you think you might pass out, well then you just go back to stepping, okay? And then if you can, you take it up a notch and you jump again. You always want to be pushing to the very edge of your comfort zone. And if you do that during cardio, you are going to burn an enormous amount of fat. In the strength training workouts, most of the exercises will be 60 seconds of work with 45 seconds of rest. That's what makes it so efficient and so snappy. Most people go to the gym and they're there for like 2 hours because they're sitting on their phone between sets. They're taking like, 40 minutes to complete 3 exercises when those, 3 exercises could be done in 10 minutes. But with my workouts, they're super efficient and everything is timed. And so you're not really getting a huge amount of rest time. You're getting just enough to recover, but you're getting not enough that it drags on, so you're not getting the metabolic burn. So whenever you're strength training, there's two main ways that you can build muscle. One of them is mechanical stress and the other one is metabolic stress. Mechanical stress is where you take the muscle through a full range of motion with a heavy load. So full stretch, full squeeze with a heavy load. That is the fastest and most effective way to build muscle because you are loading the muscle up, taking it through a full stretch and then holding it at the bottom and powering that weight up so you tear maximum muscle tissues, which means maximum muscle damage, which means maximum muscle repair, which means maximum muscle growth. The other way that you can build muscle is through metabolic stress. Metabolic stress shakes up the metabolites inside the muscle tissue and causes trauma to them by literally shaking them around. You get a lactic acid infusion into the muscles, which also causes trauma. It doesn't cause as much trauma as mechanical stress that usually happens in the gym with a heavy load, but it does cause trauma. In this program, we are going to be working with metabolic stress. You're going to be working with high volume training every single day, which is why you do not need heavy loads. Muscle responds to stimulus. It doesn't respond to load, it responds to stimulus. You can stimulate your muscle by putting 100 kilos on your back, or you can, and doing 10 reps, or you can stimulate your muscle by putting two 15-kilo dumbbells on your shoulders and doing 30 reps, or 50 reps, or 60 reps. Same effect, okay? One just takes longer and has a metabolic burn. The other one has a mechanical burn, if you want to put it like that. So you're going to failure in this program and then beyond failure. Because where you would normally stop in the gym because it said 10 reps or 12 reps, even if you had a few more in the tank, you get to a point and you go, oh, well, it's hard. I'm not going to do any more. But when you're training with me, I go, come on, let's do it. I go, oh, okay, take a break, right? So you'll get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I'm shaking. My glutes are burning. My legs are like, you're like, oh, I can't go on. So you pause for a minute, you take a 5-second pause and then you go, okay, I'm going to go again. You do 5 more reps and then you're like, shit, we have another 20 seconds left. So you pause for another 5 seconds left, 5 seconds, and then you do another 5 reps. So you're going to failure and pausing, and then going to failure and pausing, and going to failure and pausing, and you are stimulating the muscle. And that's what causes the muscle to grow. It's not heavy weights. It's not the amount of reps that you do. It's not some magical, creatine or something. It's stimulus. Muscle responds to stimulus. Did you ask your muscles to do more today than they were capable of doing yesterday? If the answer is yes, then you created a greater demand on your muscle and your body will reward you with more muscle because your body goes, oh, okay, so yesterday she only asked us to do, we only managed 15 reps in the 60 seconds with that particular weight. Today she asked us to do 20 reps. So clearly we need enough muscle for those extra 5 reps. So whenever you go beyond, your muscle rewards you and builds up to the level that you're currently working at. That's why it's so important to go to failure, go beyond failure, go to failure, go beyond failure. That is how muscle grows. It's not any magical supplement. It's not any magical combination of training exercises or whatever. Muscle responds to stimulus. Doesn't matter what you do or how you do it, as long as you stimulate it and you overstimulate it, that is what matters. The other really good thing about training with me is that we don't focus on reps. We focus on getting to the end of the 60 seconds. And so I never want you to compromise form. In the gym in the past, what I find myself doing is I want to get to 10 reps. And so when I start to really fail hard at around rep 6, I start to compromise my form. I don't go quite as deep in the rep, or I don't bring my knee all the way down, or I maybe only do like a couple of, I get to like here and I do half reps with the presses. But because I'm not focusing on getting to a certain amount of reps in the training in this program, what I'm focusing on is, can I complete another rep with full range of motion? So can I bring my arms all the way down and all the way back up, and then I'll pause, and then I'll go all the way down and I'll go all the way back up. So you're always going to failure with a full range of motion, which causes so much muscle damage, I can't even tell you. So don't compromise your form whenever you're training with me, because we're not focusing on reps. We're focusing on full range of motion. Can you do another one with full range of motion? Can you do another one with full range of motion? Because that's how we are focusing, or that's what we're putting our focus and attention on in this program. You will get the maximum amount of muscle you can, and you will be stunned at how your body will change. I am probably one of the most effective trainers in the world. Like, I own the world's largest online bodybuilding company. I don't say that to boast. Anyone who's trained with me will tell you I have this unique blend of making you laugh. I'm definitely going to crack a dirty joke or two because I'm Irish and I have a terrible sense of humor. And so sometimes I make a joke and then I'm like, oh, that is really wrong. I probably shouldn't say that, but I say it anyway. So I'm definitely going to make you laugh the whole way through. You're going to enjoy showing up and training with me every day. The members tell me that actually it's one of the things they look forward to every day is actually showing up and training with me because they know they're going to have a good time. Yes, they're going to work hard, but they're going to have a good time. It's like I'm going to be your best friend and your training partner coming into your living room every day and saying, come on, girl, let's go train. And you're going to really enjoy training with me. I promise I'm going to make it fun. And we are just going to absolutely smash it together and we are going to build some serious glutes. If you choose to train in the gym, then the gym program is there for you. You download it. We have instructional exercise videos for every single exercise. If you want to train in the gym, you rock on. But let me tell you, if you are an avid gym goer and you're like me and you're like, oh, I'm not prepared to give up my gym training, like I don't want to train from home, and you have like this thought that you're not going to get the same results training from home, trust me, I was that way too. I am a professional stage athlete who won my pro card in 2018. And I swore I would never train from home with dumbbells and a booty band. And here I am only training from home. You can get the same results. You will be stunned at how sore your body is from training with me and the way that we train. I promise you, you'll get results. So if you are an avid gym goer, I encourage you to give this a go at home. I genuinely encourage you to give this a go at home and see how you go. And like, what's the worst thing that can happen? It's only 8 weeks. If you don't like it at the end of 8 weeks, you can go back to training in the gym, go back to the way you used to do it. Tell me I was wrong. I totally will understand. Like, I'm not here to try and convince anyone. All I'm saying is if you're here to build your butt, give it a shot because I swear to God, it will change your mindset. Okay, meal plans. So we have vegan meal plans and non-vegan meal plans for you. And then we also have a little section here with free foods and flavorings. So you can choose to eat vegan or choose to eat non-vegan. We don't have vegetarian plans, so it's either vegan or non-vegan. For the first time ever, what we have done is we have given you the macro and calorie counts for every single food item. We don't normally list them for every food item, but we have done this time. Why? So that you can substitute if you wish. So if you cannot eat a certain item, let's say you can't eat tofu or tempeh, or you're not big into seitan, or you have a gluten intolerance, well, all you have to do is look up the macros and calories for each of the food items, and then you simply substitute that food item for something else. That's all you have to do. Substitute the food item for something else. So how do you figure out what food item you substitute for something else? Well, you simply go into Google and you say, what is the equivalent of 140 grams of tofu in a vegan protein? And Google will give you a list, or ask ChatGPT. Now, if you're going to substitute, you want to try and get macros that are like for like. You want to try and get the protein counts the same, the fats the same, the carbs the same. But this is very difficult to do. If you're subbing out tofu, tofu has a high fat content. With animal proteins, it's much easier. They're all much of a muchness. But with non-animal proteins, with vegan proteins, seitan and tofu do not have similar macros. Tofu is much higher in fat. So what you want to look for if you're subbing out is calories. You want to make sure the calories are the same. So really just ask Google or go into MyFitnessPal or one of the other apps and ask them for the equivalent of 140 grams of tofu or whatever it is listed in the meal plan. So let's say 140 grams of tofu has 150 calories. You want to eat 150 calories equivalent of another protein. The macros don't really matter so much if you're just subbing out, okay? As long as the calories remain the same, that is all that matters. Because in the meal plans, you do not want to go over the daily calorie counts. So the calorie counts start at 1,500 for the first 4 weeks. So we're keeping the calories the same at 1,500. And then in weeks 6 and 7, you will drop, weeks 5 and 6, you'll drop to 1,400 calories. And in weeks 7 and 8, you will drop to 1,200 calories, okay? Now that seems very low, except you can eat an unlimited amount of free foods. So free foods are green cruciferous vegetables or cauliflower, and we also put peas in there as well. So any amount of broccoli, green beans, asparagus, spinach, cabbage, any green cruciferous vegetable, anything that is, green cruciferous, I'm trying to think, it's no root vegetables. You don't want to be eating no carrots or pumpkin or potatoes or sweet potatoes or anything like that. They are not free foods, they're not on the list, but you can have cauliflower, even though it's It's not green, it is a cruciferous vegetable. We've also got a little PDF in there with free foods and flavorings, which list anything that you can eat. We give you some lovely recipes that you can cook up loads of your free foods, keep them in the fridge. You know, you can keep some steamed broccoli in there, and then you can get some tahine, which is a Mexican seasoning, sprinkle it over the top. You can munch on those if and when you're hungry. Please remember, if you're doing this as a shred, if your goal is to lose body fat as well as build muscle in your glutes, you will get the best results from following the meal plan. Even if you didn't do the training and all you did was follow the meal plan, you will get epic results. Your results in this shred will come from following the meal plan. 95% of your results will come from following the meal plan. In the past, the winners of all of the big cash competitions have followed the meal plan religiously. Those who didn't, those who just followed the training and made the mistake of thinking that they could kind of half-ass the meal plan, were the ones who did not get the results. I guarantee you, it happens every single time. People embark on the program and they go, oh my God, this is like the most amount of training and cardio I've ever done. And because it feels really hard, they think they must be burning an incredible amount of fat. And while you will burn an incredible amount of fat, you can overeat that fat in 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I often tell people, if you do one of my 30-minute cardio workouts, you'll burn about 250 calories. 2 tablespoons of olive oil has 250 calories. 2 tablespoons of butter. If you put a tablespoon of butter on your toast, which I do whenever I'm eating toast, if you had 2 pieces of toast with 2 tablespoons of butter, you have literally out-eaten 2 cardio sessions in 2 pieces of toast. So you do burn fat from doing the cardio, but it's so easy to out-eat the cardio that you're doing if you're not following the meal plan. A lot of times people in the past have told me that they followed the training religiously and they followed the meal plan about 50%, and then they were massively disappointed with their results, and they realized that the secret came from following the meal plan. So here's what I recommend that you do. Don't even look at the training. Don't look at the training. Don't look at the cardio. Don't look at any of it. In fact, we've only put up a few taster videos for you. If you're buying this program at the very beginning of its release, there's only some taster videos in there. You don't even have the full workouts, right? But even if you're buying it later on and the full workouts are in there, what I would recommend that you do is ignore the workouts. Focus on the meal plans. Download the meal plans and choose which one you're going to eat. Now, here's the beauty of you getting 4 1,500 calorie meal plans. You can choose any one that you want in any week. You're going to eat the same food every day for a week. You cannot swap between meal plans. So you can't eat breakfast from meal plan 1, lunch from meal plan 2, and dinner from meal plan 3. The meals are not interchangeable between the meal plans. I'm going to say that again in case you missed it, okay? I'm going to clap and say, pay attention, in case you were like, oh, you were just like, you know, like you were diverted for a second. This is one of the most important things that you can hear. It comes up all the time in the Facebook group. So if you see this question in a Facebook group, I want you to answer it for the person and say, go watch the video, because Kim clapped and she made this really important, okay? You cannot swap meals between meal plans. You cannot swap between vegan and non-vegan. You can't eat breakfast from vegan and lunch from non-vegan. You cannot swap vegan breakfast number 1 and meal plan 1 with vegan lunch from meal plan 4. You can't swap between the meal plans. But you can eat meal plan 1 on a Monday, meal plan 2 on a Tuesday, meal plan 3 on a Wednesday, meal plan 4 on a Thursday. Okay, so you can eat 1 entire day's worth of food from a meal plan. You just can't swap between them. The reason why is because the macros from the meals are not the same. So the calories in breakfast 1 from meal plan 1 might be 300. The calories in meal plan 2 might be 450. In meal plan 3, they'll be 180. So the macros aren't the same in each recipe. So that's why you can't swap between meal plans. But you can choose one meal plan you like and eat it for 7 full days. Or you can switch, eat one for half a week and one for the rest of the week. Whatever you do, just do it consistently. I would recommend that you meal plan on the weekend. So choose a meal plan for the first week, get all your ingredients together. We have shopping lists and everything for you there. Get all your ingredients together, lay them all out, and cook for the week. Get some meal prep containers on Amazon and portion everything into meal prep containers. Put half in the fridge and half in the freezer. And then whenever it's time to eat, halfway during the week, you lift them out of the freezer the night before, or put them all in the freezer. And then the night before, lift your meals out and defrost them in the fridge. That means when you're hungry, which you will be, and tired, which you will be, you literally grab your meal and go. You will find, even though it's a pain in the ass to meal plan on the weekend, no matter how tired you are, it sets you up for the week. You will be able to rest more during the week. You'll have more energy for doing your training and your cardio. You won't have to think about what to eat. It'll be grab and go. And it'll be arduous the first time you do it. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so done with this shit. And you really will not want to do it because it's tough to do it in the beginning when you're not used to it. And your kitchen will look like a bomb has gone off in it. But that is what will give you the best results. And you will get faster and faster and faster and faster at it the more you do it. Because the more you do something, the better you get at it. That is just the way life works. Now, each week you get one refeed meal. We do not have a refeed meal on the plan. You get to choose what you eat. If you want to have a pizza, have a pizza. You want to have a Chinese, have a Chinese. You want to have a cheesecake, have a cheesecake. You get one refeed meal per week. My advice is eat the refeed meal, have whatever you fancy and enjoy it. Because if you feel that you hold back in your refeed meal and you don't refeed yourself properly, then you will regret it the rest of the week, right? And you'll find yourself nibbling and dipping and having little things that are off plan. Don't do that. Now, it's not a refeed dinner out in a restaurant with a starter, a main course, a dessert, and a bottle of wine, okay? It's not a gourmet refeed. It's one meal. And it doesn't include dessert, right? I know I said cheesecake earlier, so scrap what I said. It's one meal. It's not a meal plus ice cream. It's one meal. Why is it one meal? Because you don't want to sabotage your fat loss results. And if your one meal ends up being 2,000 calories, you can literally out-eat all the calories you burned during the week. Because here's how calories work. Your body, whenever I've worked out those 1,500 calories per day, I have worked out the energy expenditure that you are going to be using or having during the week over a 7-day period. And then I've said over a 7-day period, they're going to burn this amount of calories. So I have worked out the meal plans and then I divided that by 7 and I gave you this amount of calories each day. So if you overeat on your refeed meal, you could literally add potentially 200 to 300 calories per day because it adds up over a 7-day period. Does that make sense? So you want to have a refeed meal that is, filling or whatever. I think I allowed around, 600 to 800 calories for the refeed meal, give or take. Like if you went up to about 1,000, it's not going to kill you. 600 to 800 is kind of what I had kind of worked out in my head. So I want you to eat enough of a refeed that you feel satiated, but don't go completely overboard because you can just undo your results. And if you get to the end of the week and you realize that you don't really need a refeed meal and just like a plate of French fries would do you, well, then I encourage you to just, go with your instinct. Because remember, this is a fat loss program. You want to lose as much body fat as you possibly can. And so every calorie you eat takes you further away from that goal. But I want you to psychologically have a refeed meal and reset if you need it. Okay, anything else that I need to tell you about the meal plans? No, I think that's it. So the meal plans are super simple, really easy to follow, macro and calorie counted. If you want to substitute, you totally can. Just look for something with similar calories. Don't worry about the macros and the substitution. Just make sure you stay within the calorie count. One last thing about the meal plans. If I see you inputting the meal plans into MyFitnessPal and then coming into the Facebook group and telling me that the calories you get are different from the calories in the meal plan, I'm going to delete your post. We have done the hard work for you. You do not need to go to the extra effort of inputting all of these meals into MyFitnessPal. If you want to do it for yourself, go for it. But what you have to understand is there are different brands, different foods. There are like MyFitnessPal or one of the other trackers is not an exact science. And whenever people do this, quite often the foods that have been uploaded into MyFitnessPal are not even correct. A lot of times people upload the foods themselves and they input the values incorrectly. And so you could be using a food that has the incorrect values inputted. We use a universal food tracker. We don't use MyFitnessPal to make the fitness plan, the meal plans. We use a centralized meal tracker, which has been verified by nutritionists and is used by nutritionists the world over to verify the foods. We don't use the fitness trackers to create the meal plans. Our values are correct. They've been double checked and triple checked. If you do find a discrepancy, please let us know. Mistakes sometimes happen in typos or transferring of data, but the meal plans are correct. If you're going to put them into MyFitnessPal and then you're going to whinge about it in the group, we're going to delete your post. I say this with love, okay? No complaining. No complaining about the meal plans being incorrect. Okay, supplement guide. We have a supplement guide in here. It's very self-explanatory. Download it, read it, choose any supplements you want to take. You don't have to take any supplements at all. They are completely optional. I wasn't even going to put a supplement plan in here, but what happens is when I don't put a supplement guide in, everybody complains. And I think it's because people think that supplements are the magic bullet. They are the magic bullet that's going to get them these magic results, and without the supplements, they're just not going to be as effective. It's not true. What gets results is consistency. Following the meal plan, showing up and doing the cardio, following the strength training, okay? I actually want to go back a step. One thing I forgot to say is you're going to do cardio 6 days a week, and you're going to do strength training 5 days a week, and you're going to have 1 full day's rest. So the cardio, every day you're going to do a 30-minute cardio session and a 40-minute strength training session. You can do them together. You can do them separately. If you're going to do them together, do strength training first and cardio after. You can do 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. You can do them an hour apart, 2 hours apart. Doesn't matter. Results will be the same. You can eat before you do them, eat after you do them, eat fucking during you do them. Excuse my language. Whatever. Like, it doesn't matter, right? If you want to do it at midnight, that's fine. If you get to eat afterwards, great. If you don't get to eat afterwards, don't worry. You want to eat before? Fine. You want to do it in an empty stomach? Fine. Doesn't matter. None of that matters. That's all minutia that people get sucked into and focus on that makes zero difference, because they think that they can get faster results. If they just focus on the tiny little details, they might get faster results. It's not true, you won't. You have to do the same boring shit over and over and over again for an extraordinarily, impossibly long period of time. And that's what gets results. So all these little things that people want to focus on, like the right supplements and the nutrient timing, and the supplement timing, and the timing of the workouts, and eating before and eating after, and all of those things, none of it matters. None of it matters. And my coaches will constantly reiterate the same message. Doesn't matter. Do what works for you. I want to do this cardio. Great. Do that. I want to do this. That's fine. Do that. I want to cycle. No problem. I want to do Kim's workout. Great. Whatever you want to do it. Whatever works for you, totally fine. The most important thing is that you choose an option and you do it consistently, because that is what will get you results. Okay, so supplements, very self-explanatory. Download it, buy them all, take them all if you want, take none of them if you want, take one of them if you want. I'm not even go through the supplements because I'm not a big believer in supplements. I take HRT, I take testosterone, I take GLP-1s for inflammation in microdoses. I take a vitamin B supplement every day, and I take a magnesium supplement. That's it. That's all I take. So my supplements change based on what I feel my body needs. That's what my body needs at the minute. So that's what I take. I don't take creatine. Creatine causes major water retention in most women. So even though we have it on the list, I would avoid creatine if you're a creatine taker, because it can make your body hold a huge amount of water, which makes you feel fatter after the first week or two. And then you want to despair and throw in the towel because you think you've put on weight, even though you've been working harder than you've ever worked in your life. So I would say, forget about the creatine. I've never known it to make any measurable difference, even though all the scientists on TikTok would have you think differently. Everybody loves to jump on the creatine bandwagon. I don't believe in creatine. Take it or don't take it, completely up to you. But just a word of warning, it will cause water retention. So that's why I don't like it. I avoid it. Okay, you've got a bonus PDF in here as well called How to Post for Instagram. A lot of you, if you purchased programs from me before, will have received this as a bonus. I give this to you as a gift from me to you to ask you to read it, watch the videos, follow the instructions. Why? Because it's going to help you to take better after photos. And this is a competition after all. We want you to take really good after photos, don't we? Yes, really good after photos. This teaches you how to do it. It'll teach you how to put your tan on, how to stand to make your butt look amazing, all that kind of stuff. Download it, read it, watch the videos, practice your posing, practice, and you will take amazing after photos. Okay, lastly here we have the competition. You must download the rules and read them thoroughly. Read the rules thoroughly. Please do not come into the Facebook group and be asking questions such as, is this allowed and is that allowed and whatever. Please do the work, download the rules and read the rules. We don't mind answering your questions, but we absolutely hate answering questions over and over and over again that have been answered here. And what you're telling us is, I'm not prepared to read and do the work. I'm too lazy to do the work for myself. I want you to do the work for me. Those kinds of people never, ever win the competitions because they're not prepared to do the work. Download the rules and read them. They are not complicated. They are very easy. Please, I beseech you, do it for your own good to have a chance of winning some money, right? Winning the competition. When you're submitting your photos, so you don't submit your photos until the very end, okay? You take your before photos the first day that the sign is released, and you take your after photos at the end of the program. We release the before and the after signs at the same time. So you get the before and after signs at the start of the program. You can take your after picture anytime you want, but we recommend that you take it at the end. So you take your before picture and you take one from the front, one from the side, one from the back, and one from the side, okay? And then store them in your phone. Don't lose them. Send them to a friend if you need to make sure that you don't lose them. Don't lose your before photos, okay? Just keep them. Then at the end of the competition, you take your after photos. You place those photos side by side using an app. I use Layout because I use an iPhone. You can use PicStitch or one of the other ones. Any side by side is totally fine. You place the before photo on the left and the after photo on the right, okay? Before photo on the left, after photo on the right. If you do not, your submission will not be valid. We have so many people send in their photos with the after photo on the wrong side. Please don't do that. You don't submit single sets of photos. Every competition, we have someone submit 8 photos. They're not put together in a before and after. If they're not together in a before and after, they will be instantly discarded. I have a panel of 9 judges do the judging. They judge for biggest transformation. In this program, they're looking for the contestant that has made the biggest change in their glutes. They're not looking for biggest fat loss. They're looking for biggest change in the glutes. So fat loss is taken into account, of course, if it makes your glutes look better, but we're looking for the biggest transformation in your glutes. Do you have to wear a thong? No. Will it show off your results better if you do? Yes. So we have had people in the past who have had their after photo in shorts or full knickers or full underpants, and then their after photo in a thong. That's totally fine. We've never, ever, ever had a winner or a top 10 who has won with their after photo in shorts. Why? Because we can't see your glutes. If you're wearing black shorts, we can't see your glutes. If you're wearing flesh-colored shorts, well, yeah, that might work, but we've never had anyone win in their shorts because we can't see their glutes. So the judges are first and foremost looking at your glutes, and then they will look at the other parts of your body. Do you have to tan for the after photo? No, but it helps. You want to make those after photos pop, don't you? Do you have to wear the same outfit? No, you can if you want, but we recommend a different outfit. Because if you can think about this, the judges are scrolling all of the entries, right? So you want to grab their attention. What will grab their attention is a stark contrast between the before and the after. It'll draw the eye quicker than, we do obviously assess every single photo. The judges will look at every single photo, but you want to grab their attention. So think about what will grab the judge's attention more. A tan, your hair and makeup done, a different bikini, a different pose, a pair of heels possibly to lift your butt and your glutes. All of these things are allowed. We want you to show off your hard work and make your after photo look amazing. The How to Pose program will teach you how to do it. Make sure you download it and you read it through, but you want to make sure that your before photo is on the left and your after photo is on the right, okay? And that is what is going to guarantee you entry. You don't submit your entry photos until the very end. There will be a button, it's already here in the customer hub, which says enter competition. It's currently locked. It will open on Monday, the 10th of September. I think Monday's the 10th. I think it ends Sunday the 9th. Monday is the 10th of September. I'm just going to check that because otherwise people will be like, but hang on a wee minute, she said, not September, November. Sorry, I'm glad I did check. So yeah, Monday the 9th of November, Monday the 10th of November, the competition entry will open. It will not open before that. That's the only time you can submit your photos on that day. It's in the rules, how long you have to submit them, when the top 10 is announced, all of that stuff. So you usually submit on a Monday, we announce the top 10 on a Thursday, we announce the winners the following Monday. So within a 1-week process, we have decided the winners and announced them. One other thing you need to know about the competition is if you enter the competition, your face must be visible. You cannot hide your face behind an emoji. I'm really sorry you can't. The other thing is you give us express permission to use your photos now or at any time in the future in any of our marketing material if you enter the competition. You cannot enter the competition and sign a disclaimer to say you're not allowed to ever use my photos. I'm sorry, you can't. If you get into the top 10, your photos will be plastered everywhere on social media. They may be put onto our website. We may use them for Facebook ads in the future. Now, granted, it'll just be a photo of your butt, so people might not actually even recognize your face because they'll only see your butt. But you give us express permission to use your photos now or at any time in the future. If you don't want this to happen, don't enter the competition. We won't use every photo, but we may use yours if your transformation is epic. So if you don't want this to happen, don't enter the competition. How will the money be paid? We send it via PayPal. So if you win or get into the top 10 and win one of the big cash prizes, the money is sent via PayPal. You must have a PayPal account or be able to receive money via PayPal. We don't do it via bank transfer because otherwise we're doing international transfers. It's a real pain in the ass. We don't do it. PayPal is the only way that you can receive the money. So if you don't have a PayPal account, you're going to have to set one up, or you're going to have to send it to somebody who does have a PayPal account. We send it via friends and family, so you don't get fees. We pay the fees, but you do need to have a PayPal account. Lastly, Facebook group. You don't have to join the Facebook group, but I highly recommend that you do. That is where all the community is going to be. The coaches are going to be in there every day. You can get quick answers to your questions. If you're in the Facebook group, what I recommend that you do is use the search function. In the Facebook group, there's a little magnifying glass up at the top. If you have a question, go to the search function and type in, like if you're like, oh, I'm sure I saw a post about such and such, before you even ask a question for speed on your part, use the search function and type in equipment or type in, whatever you think the post was about. And Facebook will show you all of the posts that were to do with that thing. And quite often you will find what you were looking for. Now, every single week as well, on a Monday, I'm going to be doing a coaching call at 4 p.m. in Zoom. If you can it's 4 p.m. UK time, which is 11 a.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's live at that time. There's a link in the customer hub to add this to your calendar. If you click that link, it will add it to your calendar, and then in your calendar will contain the link to the Zoom call. So all you have to do is open your calendar, click the link in the notes section of the add to calendar link, and boom, you will be able to access the Zoom call. We will download the Zoom call and upload it to YouTube the next day. It won't be same day usually, it'll be next day. So if you miss it, you can access it the next day. There's also a little button here in your customer hub which says coaching call replays. If you click on that button, it'll take you to all the replays. We'll have the newest one on top, and they will be numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, blah, blah, blah. So you can go in and watch the coaching call replays. The coaching calls are hosted by me. I am very funny and very informative. So I highly recommend that you listen to them. You might not do it during your cardio because you're going to be following along cardio. In fact, you're probably going to be sick of me by the end of this. You're going to be training with me, doing cardio with me, listening to me. Like I've been talking now for a seriously long amount of time. 1 hour I've been talking for here. Told you this was going to get long. So you're definitely going to be sick of me by the end of this. But I do recommend that you listen to the coaching calls each week because they are going to have so many nuggets of information. It's going to keep you motivated, excited, moving in the right direction. I promise you, I'm going to make it worth your while. So watch the coaching calls. Lastly, at the very bottom, you will see we have a discount code for the Protein Works, our preferred protein company. They're not available in Australia. I'm really sorry. I wish they were. Or New Zealand. You can only get it in USA, Canada, some parts of Europe and the UK. But we have a 65% discount on the protein powder that we recommend. The discount is there. And also, we have given you a stonking great discount for Lucotan, which is our preferred tanning brand. They ship worldwide, 30% off any Lucotan products. This is the tanning brand that I recommend for you to look absolutely awesome in your after photos. And I may even bring in the founder of the company to do a Q&A with you at the end, showing you how to apply your tan and answering all your tanning questions. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know and I will definitely organize that for you as well. And that is all I have to say. Apart from, if you need any help with anything, you can always reach out to support@thesculptedvegan.com and we will absolutely endeavor to help you. You can ask in the Facebook group and the coaches will tag. You can, ask the coaches will always come in and answer. If you see in the Facebook group people saying NAC, that means not a coach. So a lot of people will start the answers that they give you with NAC and then they will answer your question. So what that means is I'm not a coach. So it's a way that people who have been around the company for a long time will identify themselves as not a coach. So they just, want to say that the advice that they're giving is not company advice, it's personal advice based on experience. So that is what that means. There's a lot of abbreviations that happen and people are like, I really don't know what this means. And the NAC one is the most confusing. We didn't even start it, the members started it themselves. So if you ever have a question that you need answered, you can post in the Facebook group. I'm going to be in there every day. You can ask it on the Q&A graphic. So if you go into the featured section of the Facebook page, it's right at the top. There's a button said featured. All the important information is in there. Every time I post in the group, it goes into featured. Every time the team posts in the group, it goes into featured. So if you're looking for a post from me or a post from the team, it'll be in the featured tab. So every single Monday, we post the graphic for the next week's coaching call. If you want to get an answer from me, ask it under the graphic. That's where I answer the questions from. I don't take them live on the coaching call. I answer them from the graphic. So that means that even if you can't attend live, you can still get your question answered. So go to the featured tab. You will find that graphic every single week. It will live there permanently, a new one every week. You can ask your questions, and I will answer them live in the coaching call. And the coaches will answer any other questions that you have. We are here to support you. We are here to make sure that you get the best results possible. That is our goal. So I'm really sorry that this got long. Well done for sticking with it. I hope you took notes. Maybe you had to pause. Maybe you have to come back and watch it again. Definitely go back and listen to it all again if you can, because there's a lot of information there. Please know that I am here to support you. This is my favorite thing in the world to do, supporting women who want to change and sculpt their bodies. The fact that you are here, the fact that you showed up for yourself, the fact that you invested in me and in my company, I do not take lightly. So I will do everything I can to make sure that you get the best results possible. I'm here to support you in every single way. So if there's anything I can ever do for you, you tag me in the group, you ask the coaches, we are here to support you. We are here to make sure that you get the results that you deserve. We want to help you to sculpt your body, change your body, build mental strength and physical strength so that you can achieve everything that your heart desires, everything you've always wanted. Building your body is the first step, because when you build your body and you build strength and consistency and discipline and resilience, you can literally achieve anything in your life. I believe in you. Now I just need you to believe in you. I'm sending you a big hug and a big kiss. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for allowing me into your life. I promise I will not let you down. Okay, have an awesome rest of your day. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you very, very soon. And good luck with the program. I cannot wait to see what you do. Bye for now.